quite so often that we hear about Motorola phones as the marketing is somehow not as aggressive as brands like Huawei and Samsung. However, they have been in the market for a long time now, and what we have here is the Moto Z, one of the thinnest smartphones in the market now, with some really cool mods to pair with. Alicia from KLGadgetTV here, and this is the Moto Z review. When we say that this is the thinnest phone to date, it doesn't include the mods, of course. Now, with a sturdy stainless steel frame, the Moto Z is only 5.19mm thin and weighs only about 139 grams. Unlike a lot of phones that tend to make its body lighter to reduce weight, the Moto Z feels solid instead, kind of like putting a sheet of steel in the pocket. The only thing that really irks me is the glass front and back, where you can see a sea of smudges as soon as you hold it, and forever and ever. Thankfully, you can buy a cover for the back which is thin, easily attached with its magnetic system, gives you extra grip, at the same time covers that huge protruding camera bump. So, what do you have to give up for that sort of thinness? Well, for one, you don't see any ports for a regular 3.5mm headphone jack. Yup, Motorola did it before Apple did, and no one made a sound. So in order to use a headphone now, you would need a dongle to connect your headphone to the USB-C port, since this is the only port on the entire phone. Well, or you can just use Bluetooth. Now, what makes Moto Z revolutionary is the way it connects to its mods. These 16 pins on the back of the device allows you to easily connect to Moto Mods, whether to watch a movie on the projector, to blast your music, or to take photos. These gold-plated connectors is what allows the phone to interact with the Moto Mods. So instead of digging, scraping, grunting, trying to remove the mods from the phone, with the Moto Z and Moto Mods, it is just connected magnetically. Surprisingly, the magnets are strong enough that the mods stay connected even with considerably amount of shaking, yet not so strong that you will break your nails trying to remove it. Fingerprint sensor is located at the front, and despite it looking like a tiny button, it isn't a home button, unfortunately. However, this button can put the phone to sleep and wake it up with a press, so you don't have to fumble and reach to the sides to find the power button, which is kind of small, by the way. Despite the power button having a different texture from the volume rocker, it is still kind of hard to differentiate, especially when trying to bring the volume down and end up switching off the phone instead. Compared to the LG G5, the Moto Mods are more exciting and creative. Out of all the mods, the Moto Z Insta Share projector is the most unusual. Basically, you just stick it to the phone, pull up this stand, and play a video to share with your friends up to 70 inches in size. You will need to share your videos in a dark room though, since it only projects 50 lumens. If you're more of a music buff, or maybe one who likes having house parties, then this speakers born from partnership between Motorola and JBL might tickle your fancy. It is loud, using sound boost, and comes with a handy stand to prop up the speakers. Since blasting music will drain your batteries, this speakers actually comes with its own inbuilt battery with about 8 to 10 hours of life with 1000 mAh capacity. Now comes the part about the camera. Generally, the Moto Z has a decent camera. With 13 megapixel on the rear and 5 megapixel on the front, it does its job pretty well, except in the low light department where it kind of stutters. Motorola has made improvement on the software though, and although it seems like the usability is still not as friendly and intuitive like Samsung, it looks way better than how it used to. If you prefer something more robust, then there is a Moto Mod for you. This is the Hasselblad True Zoom Moto Mod for avid photographers, and it allows you up to 10 times zooming capabilities. What I loved most was the physical camera button, where you can half press to focus before pressing down to take a photo, just like how you would with a camera. There is also manual zoom available, however close-up shots look a little off, and since it has a pretty large MFD, you can't really take close-up shots of your favorite food. Somehow, distant photos look much better with this mod than the close-ups, and it doesn't make low-light shots any much better than before. Generally, Moto Z is quite a good looking phone, and the way it gels with many different Moto Mods is unique and interesting. It stands out with its design and capabilities and the way Motorola was in the good old days and hopefully in the near future. The only few things that I didn't really like is removing the headphone jack, although some other brands have already done it. Now, it is still inconvenient to say the least. Now, on top of that, the camera bump is really huge. And the battery life is a little lackluster. Other than that, if you're willing to pay 2,699 ringgit for a flagship that is fun and unique, then do take a look at the Moto Z.